Saskaram Sachidanam Tarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokul.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and welcome to today's session. I pray that all is well with you and your families at this time. So we're moving on today. We're on text number 4 today, and we're on day number 5. And we're steadily progressing through this wonderful chapter of Mother Yashoda binding baby Krishna. So we're on text number 4. Tam stanyakama asadya matnantim jnananam hari gritva dadhimam tanam nyasedat pritim avahan. Translation: while Mother Yashoda was churning butter, Lord Krishna, desiring to drink the milk of her breast, appeared before her. So, we're catching the story actually right when it's about to start. We're being introduced now to the main person. And at this point, Damodar, he's not called Damodar right now because Dama Udara means the rope that was tied around the waist. So that didn't happen yet. So at the moment he's Gopal, Bal Gopal, he's baby Krishna. So at this time now he's just woken up, and you know when children wake up, when they start, they're usually hungry when they start to wake up, and they're looking for their mother, and one of the first things they do is cry. But notice Krishna didn't cry here. So there's a reason for that as well. Why Krishna didn't cry? Because he knows how to bring out the Vatsalya Bhav in Mother Yashoda. So instead of just crying and making her just leave everything and come there to him, he comes up to her first. He comes up to her first to see what she's doing, because he's actually there in the same room. It's described that he's there in the same room. Now he's broken his sleep, and he's turning around and he's looking, and he sees his mother, and he's in the zone. My brother, when my nephew was just a few months old, so he was the first grandson in the family, because there's 3 of us. I'm the eldest, then my brother, then my sister. So this child was the first grandson in the family. So the one time we went visiting to him, and this little child just got up. And and we were, as like excited relatives now, we like, hey, Haribol, how are you? And he was just not into it. It was like one eye was still closed, and his face was all sleepy. And so my brother was telling me, he says, he's still in the zone. So I understood, okay, this is part of the whole proceeding. So then they had to carry him for a few minutes, and then after a while he started, coming out of the sleep fully. So this is Krishna now. He's looking, he's seeing, and he wants his mommy. He wants his mother. And he can see she's doing something. Because they're in the same room, he can see she's doing something. So he gets up, and now he's going towards her now, and he approaches her. So now we're going to see firsthand how the exchange happens. We saw the exchange when there was separation. So in that moment, Mother Yashoda was churning. We read about how she looks and her sari, color, and all of that. Krishna wasn't in the picture at that time, but now he enters the picture. So when the beloved object of our love enters the picture, then what happens at that time? What starts to happen? So there is going to be an activity, there is going to be some action, as they say. But what is going to happen? We're going to see now what Krishna is going to do. Also remember, we're catching this story not just from this chapter. This story of binding Krishna actually started right in the previous Leela of the Yamal Arjun trees, Nalukuvera and Manigriva. It started in that Leela. So it's just continuing. The culmination of that Leela is culminating here. You remember in that Leela where these two sons of Kuvera were playing in the Mandakini Ganga river and doing sinful activity there. But that's from our perspective. It was sinful activity. They enjoy. Out of all the places in the Ganga is used to purify. Ganga is meant to purify us from our sins, but these boys were doing mischief activity in the Ganga. So now can you imagine? Of course, that was a different dimension because that is in the heavenly planets there, and they sport in that way. But where the offense came was that they did not respect Narada Muni. They were naked and enjoying in the Mandakini Ganga, and when Narada came by, they did not respect him. They were inebriated, intoxicated, and in that intoxicated state, they did not acknowledge a sadhu was standing there. Naturally, by the nature of the ladies, they become very observant of these things, so they quickly covered themselves. But these two boys, young princes of Kuvera, they did not cover themselves, and in that way Narada came by, and that was disrespectful totally. So he looked at them and said, look at your conditioned state. You must remember, this is happening in the heavenly planets, and Narada is observing this and he's saying, look at your fallen conditioned state. So even in the heavenly planet, that is still suffering. Just see. So anybody desiring to go to heaven or enjoy like in the heaven, this pastime explains to us that even there's suffering. What is the suffering? That you are totally intoxicated by the illusion. That's why we were saying yesterday, a very important part of life is to understand the illusion. To understand that you are in an illusion. Because it can become very intoxicating here when things are going good. And when everything is going the way you want, why would you want to leave this place? There is that beautiful pastime of Indra that even comes as a hog, and he gets so intoxicated here, he doesn't want to go back. So if that can happen to Indra, what for us? So even in the heavenly state, when the sadhu is looking at you there and saying, just see, because at the end of the day, you're just enjoying the fruits of your good karma, piety. Bad karma, you go down to hellish planets, and good karma, you go up to heaven. But in heaven, you are still suffering. You are not out of the clutches of illusion. You haven't understood the illusion. But only bhakti frees one from that situation. Only bhakti can give one the vision to see what is the illusion. Na sato vidyate bhavo, na bhavo vidyate satam. Ubayorapi dristantwas tvanayas tattvadarshibhi. In the second chapter, the Lord says that the devotee, he is studying both. The sadhu, he studies that from which is permanent and that which is temporary. And then he discerns both. He studies both natures. So it's very important to understand the illusionary nature if we're going to appreciate Krishna's pastimes. So it's very important to understand the illusionary nature if we're going to appreciate Krishna's pastimes. Otherwise, like we were saying yesterday, Krishna's pastimes look like they're also Nara Leela. They look human-like. So we can, when we are relating, we're going to relate from a human perspective, which is not, that is not, Krishna's pastimes is not human. It's human-like. Nara Leela, human-like pastimes. But it's by no means human. So this is why we are seeing now how the Lord interacts with his devotee. So it goes on to say here, and in order to increase her transcendental pleasure. So the reason given why Krishna got up Why he didn't just cry there? Because he came up to her. So when a mother sees that the child is coming to her, she feels great joy in the heart. For her to go to the child is also nice, but it's usually because out of you feel wanted. It's it's our material idea of feeling wanted and feeling acknowledged, that the child is coming up to me. That if we can give it a material comparison, just so that we can appreciate this point. So Krishna chooses things very carefully. He does things very carefully, and each of his actions brings out the bhava. So you must know, is now looking for attention. So he just got up, is seeing Mother Yashoda doing something there, and now he wants his mommy. And he's walking and coming towards her. And of course, she's aware that he's got up, and he comes right up to her. And he knows that now they are together. There is sambhog, there is meeting between Krishna and his devotee. And in that meeting now, there's going to be great transcendental loving exchange. So let's see what that exchange is. He caught hold of the churning rod and began to prevent her from churning. So Krishna comes right up to Mother Yashoda, and the first thing he does, he catches the churning rod. He's saying, stop this, I want your attention now, don't give your attention there. But remember, Mother Yashoda is doing this for Krishna only. So now the devotee has to decide, do I continue this because this is needed for Krishna, or do I give him attention? And mothers are expert in this. They know exactly how much to give, how much to do, when not to do, when to be strong. Sometimes mother's voice becomes strong. Hey, stop that. But each of those voices that mother has is all out of love. So the child gets to learn also, because her big concern is that he learns. If I don't teach him, who will learn him? Remember, mother tongue. Mother is the one that first is teaching you. You are speaking the way your mother speaks. Mother tongue. So you first learn to communicate, to speak by her. She is the first teacher. She teaches you how to speak. Mother tongue. So now Krishna has caught the churning rod, and he doesn't want her to churn. So there's a battle going on now. He's pulling the rod. This is now like churning the milk ocean. But that was milk ocean. This is yogurt ocean. This is yogurt being churned. So Mother Yashoda is pulling the rod, and Krishna is pulling the rod, and they're both pulling. So they're both grappling. So they're both pulling on this churning rod, and what it's doing is, who is going to give in? The test is, who is going to give in? Is Krishna going to give in and say, okay, you just do what you want? Nobody cares for me anymore? They throw their tantrums. Or is Mother Yashoda going to give in and say, okay, let's see what he wants. He just got up now. So who is going to give in? And what are they giving into? It's not about strength. It's not about power. It's not about any of Krishna's opulences. It's simply out of love. So who is going to win the battle for the churning rod? The prize is the churning rod. Who is going to win the battle of love between the devotee and Krishna? So we see many times, for Mother Yashoda's attention, Krishna does many mischievous pastimes sometimes. There's one Brajbasi Leela that they speak in Vrindavan, that one day Krishna Balaram just came back from the cows, so they had their bath and they're getting ready for supper, and Nanda Baba is there, and they're asking, oh, what is the activities today? What you all did today? and Mother Yashoda is there. And at that time, Krishna is telling what was going on for the day. He's telling his father, but he wants his mother's attention. When the child wants the mother for no particular reason, he doesn't want anything, he just wants to be close to the mother. And sometimes just that hug or just that connection, being close to the mother, into the body of the mother, just being held by the mother, that is so comforting for the child. So at that moment, for some particular reason, Krishna wanted Mother Yashoda's attention. But it's supper time, so she's busy. She's a housewife, she's a home executive. Of course, she has PhD in everything, how to cook, how to clean, even medical. She's a doctor, she knows what to do when something goes wrong. Moms are super people. So at that time, Krishna wants his mother's attention, so he's making a plan. So just at that time, he's sitting next to Nanda Baba, and Nanda Baba is old now, right? And old people, three things, we were talking about this one time, that when you become senior devotee, old age gets you. Senior devotee means small sika, garland around the neck, and digestion problem. So Nanda Baba is senior devotee now. He is senior in the cow herding community, and he has digestion problem now. So one of the things that assist to digestion is chilies. They take some pickle. In the early years, they used to make sambals. You remember that? Tomato and chilies and all of that mixed together, just so as a salad or to aid digestion. So Nanda Baba on his plate, Mother Yashoda came and put this 2-3 chilies there on the plate. So Krishna looked at this and he's saying, oh, what is this thing? He knows what it is, but when he wants, Nanda Baba doesn't want to give. No, children can't take this. No, Baba, I want to try. No, children, this is not sweet, Lala, this is not sweet. You can't eat this. No, but Baba, I just want to try. No. So when the child hears no now, he starts making plan. So Krishna started making plan. And what was his plan now? He distracted everyone by pointing. He said, oh, Balaram, just see Dauji. Just see there, what's that there? So when he pointed, Dauji looked and Nanda Baba looked also. And just at that time when everybody looked, he grabbed on the plate and snatched the chilies. And quickly what the child will do with anything they get, they put in the mouth. So quickly he put the chilies in the mouth. Ooh, now drama started. Krishna Leela started. Now he put the chilies and that is burning, and he is making big natak there. Now, mother, this is so hot, it's so burning. And Mother Yashoda, hearing the commotion from the kitchen, hey, what happened? And Nanda Baba, I don't know, he just quickly grabbed the chilies. Now he got the sauce as well. You're sitting right here, old man, you're sitting right here. The child is right next to you, you're not even seeing the child taking the things from the plate. So Nanda Baba, what can he say? Oh, I'm sorry, Yashoda. I was just trying to, he distracted us for one moment. Don't tell anything. Look now, what's the story here? Oh, she gave him heavy gali she gave. Now, because Krishna is crying, so Krishna is screaming that side and Nanda Baba this side is, what can he say now? He's getting the gali from Mother Yashoda. So she just left everything and caught him and put him in the sari. And that's what he wanted. So she put him on the sari. When Matajis have that sari part that they put over the shoulder. I think it's called pallu. Matajis have that sari part that they put over the shoulder. So she just extended that little bit and like a cradle. And she put Krishna in that. And on the lap. So she put on the lap and in that cradle in the sari. So now he's getting all the attention he wants. But he's not satisfied with that. Now he's, oh mother, burning, burning, burning. I see my mouth is burning. So, okay, Lala, open mouth, open. And then he opens his mouth, and then so with 2 fingers she holds on his mouth and she gently blows into Krishna's mouth. And that cooling effect, slowly, now he has full attention of mother. So this beautiful Leela, Krishna was so absorbed. Ananda Kunde. We're hearing this in Damodarastikam. Iti driksvalila birananda kunde swago samnimam jantam akyaphayantam. So, iti driksvalila bir ananda kunde. He puts the inhabitants of Gokul into pools of ecstasy. He just puts them into a ecstatic trance state in love of God. So Krishna knows exactly how to bring out that deep love between each devotee and himself. And he does it in a very intense way. So you can see the build-up in the Leela is very intense. And the devotees love, because it's only by the intensity that that deep love comes out. Love is always there, just like we know Mother always loves us. But in a particular situation, that deep love comes out, the pure love, the unadulterated, ananya bhakti, the pure state, nature of that love comes out. And anybody observing that becomes totally enchanted by that. Just like Satyavati Muni, he's observing this whole Leela. And he's observing right from the time Nalakuvera and Manigriva, right till now, Krishna's got up. He's observing this. And he's assessing how the pure devotee, Mother Yashoda, relates and interrelates with Krishna. And by that observing, you observe first. This is why Prabhupada was saying, first meditate on Mother Yashoda. The advanced devotees meditate first on the features of Mother Yashoda and what she's doing. And then you try to understand the pastime. Because if you don't observe, because if we don't assess the features and the activities of the devotee, we miss the intensity of that natural state of love. Because it's a build-up in the Leela. So it needs careful assessment. And we see that is what is happening here. That's why in the beautiful 4th stanza of the Damodarastikam it's described, Varam deva moksam na moksam vadim va nachanyam vrineham vare sadapiha idam deva purnata gopala balam manasya virastam malam lakshya labhai. So Satyavrata Muni is praying that, oh my Lord, I know you're able to give many, many benedictions, but I don't want the benediction of Vaikunta. I don't want the benediction of impersonal liberation, nor do I even want the eternal liberation of the highest level of Vaikunta. Can you imagine? He's saying, I don't even want Vaikunta. Why? Because there's no rasa there. It's just servitude. You're just worshipping God. Om Namo Narayanaya. So you're just worshipping God. But here there's rasa and there's not simple, and here there's very deep, intense rasa. There's very deep, intense exchanges. You can see Mother Yashoda is fighting with Krishna for the churning rod. He don't want to let it go. So Satyavrata Muni is looking at this and says, what is the use of benediction of anything in this material world? What is the use of impersonal liberation? the benediction of that, or even going to Vaikuntha when I can have this sweet exchange with you directly. I just want this Gopala Balam, Vapunana Gopala Balam. I just want this Gopala Balam, this form of you as Bal Gopal, just to be manifest in my heart. What is the use of anything else? Can anything else give me that kind of exchange, that kind of experience, that kind of loving, intimate exchange? Can anything in this material world give me that? So what you're going to give me at the end of the day, even if you're giving me moksha, you're giving me that. But I don't want even moksha. Moksham varimva. I just simply want to behold your beautiful form as Bal Gopal in the core of my heart. This is how Satyavrata Muni is praying. So Prabhupada continues with the purport, very beautiful purport. Prabhupada expounds the Leela even more through the purport. So what does Prabhupada say here? Purport: Krishna was sleeping within the room. So we can see that he was there within the same room, but he was sleeping there. And then what happened? And as soon as he got up, he became hungry and went to his mother. So we know children, as soon as they get up, they cry. Actually, mothers know all the different types of cries. Even the tantrum one, the one where they imitating the cry. You know, where they cry and then one eye closed, they're just checking with the other eye. Did they get that one? Did they catch me? Mother knows all. Mother knows all. She knows exactly what's going on with this fellow. So having got up, he became hungry, and because he's hungry now, he wants his mother's attention. Prabhupada goes on to say, wanting to stop her from churning and drink the milk of her breasts, he stopped her from moving the churning rod. So now we have the tug of war going on of churning the yogurt ocean here. Mother Yashoda and Krishna. And he's pulling and she's pulling. So who is going to win and who is going to give up? Who is going to give up? Remember, the prize is prema, is love. The prize is love. You don't win anything else. You don't get moksha, you don't get impersonal liberation, Vaikuntha, those kind of prizes, no. This prize, prema. You get love. The deep, intimate love, where it reconfirms the bond, where Krishna feels, just see how my devotee loves me. Because love is a two-way relationship. So Krishna is observing, will she love me enough to leave the rod? And she is thinking, just see how naughty this fellow is. He's disturbing my work. So Krishna is thinking out of love, in terms of love. Krishna is thinking in terms of love. That's why he's hankering for that. But she's thinking in terms of taking care of him, serving, teaching him. To her, that is her expression of love. So we've just witnessed the deep intimacy of prema, of love, through the battle of the churning rod. So please join us tomorrow to see who is going to win. Hare Krishna.